Welcome on our channel, QHC Akbar Jilani. If you are new on our channel, please subscribe the channel. And if you are our existing subscriber, please watch the video from start up to the end. Now in this video, we will discuss about the root cause analysis. And we will discuss the course outline, like what is root cause and what is the methodology or the protocol used for the root cause analysis, and what are the tools that should be used for the incident investigation.
Okay.
So now let's start. It's about me, my introduction. I have 25 years experience in the field of quality, health, safety, and environment. I have my master in chemistry and applied chemistry in Prime University of Peshawar, and having 25 years experience in the field of quality, health, safety, and environment. I work in UAE as well as Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Uh, what is root cause analysis? Root cause analysis is a systematic method used in safety management to identify the underlying causes of incidents or near misses rather than just addressing the immediate symptoms. RCA involves in collecting data where we use the RCA root cause analysis. We use the RCA techniques in collecting data, analyzing sequence of events, identifying factors, implementing solutions. Once we identify factors, then we implement the solutions. Why root cause analysis is important? Root cause analysis is an important process to understand how an event unfolded, why it happened, and what needs to be corrected. When do we conduct a root cause analysis? Root cause analysis should be performed when there is a breakdown in your organization process that contributed to the non-conforming incidents or accidents. Benefits of RCA. If we have the RCA, or if we understand the techniques or the protocols of RCA, how it will benefit our organization. So now let's say one by one. Benefits of RCA. Root cause analysis is a powerful tool in safety management system, offering numerous benefits that enhance problem solving, improve performance, and ensure long-term safety improvements. The key advantages: unravel the sources of the problem, target the core problems, not the symptoms, find permanent solutions, logical approach to problem solving, optimize cost and performance, standardize training, work process. Now, how do conduct the RCA root cause analysis? Conducting a root cause analysis involves a structured approach to identify and addressing the underlying causes of problems, ensuring effective solutions and continual improvement in safety management system. Define steps to successfully implement RCA. What's the methodology? What's the methodology used by the RCA techniques? Define the problem. Once we have the problem, critically analyze the source of problems to diagnose the situation. Gather data. Analyze the cause of the problems and the factors that lead to its occurrence. Determine root cause. Identify by utilizing RCA tools such as 5 whys, Fishbone diagrams, etc. Test record solutions. Verify that the solutions will eliminate the problems. Now, step 2, successfully implement RCA. Implement RCA, corrective and preventive actions. Methodologically incorporate corrective and preventive action to contain the problem and prevent reoccurrence. Share the results. Result of the RCA should be documented and shared to standardized safety process and trainings. Now, when we are discussing about the root cause analysis, uh, we have when we are talking about the incidents, for the incidents, there are there are immediate causes and root causes. So when we are talking about the incident causation, we will have to face immediate causes as well as the root causes of the accidents. So in the immediate causes, what we have, in the immediate causes, we have unsafe conditions or hazardous condition and hazardous practices or unsafe practices. Now, what is the proportion of hazardous condition and hazardous condition and hazardous practices? Mean unsafe acts and unsafe condition. If we calculate the percentage of immediate causes of an incident, 96% of the accidents we have had in a workplace due to unsafe practices, means due to shortcuts, are the hazardous practices that we have had from the immediate causes are 96%, and this come under the employee control. Now, the hazardous condition or the unsafe condition that we have from the data of any accident investigation, the immediate cause is 9 out of 100. Out of 100, only 4% are the hazardous condition in the management control. But from the once we come from the immediate to the root causes, the root cause, when we have a proportion between the immediate causes and the root causes, then the ratio is 25% will be immediate causes and 75 will be the root cause. Now let's say the immediate causes like hazardous conditions means unsafe conditions. Only the 4% of immediate causes. Missing guards, the guard is missing. Poor housekeeping, there is no proper housekeeping procedure. Defective tools, the tools are not properly inspected. Equipment failure, no SDS, MSDS or SDS if the incident involves some chemicals. Now, the unsafe acts are hazardous practices. Horseplay, ignore safety rules, didn't follow procedures, didn't report hazard, don't know how to do, means awareness. Now we are coming to the root cause analysis. In the root cause analysis, we have poor work procedure, no proper procedures, no follow-up feedback from the top management, lack of training, there is no proper training, poor safety management, purchasing unsafe equipment. Now, lack of supervision, rules not enforced, not proper enforcement policy, lack of safety leadership, poor safety leadership. When we are talking about the rules not enforced means no enforcement policy in the organization. If we have a proper enforcement policy in the organization, it is very easy for us to continually improve the safety of the organization. This is also very important. And that is becoming, when we are coming to the hierarchy of control, it coming under the measures of administrative control. So now I think it's now clear. So we go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ravi, what are the tools used for RCA? There are different tools that we are using for the RCA. Root cause analysis. What are the tools? There are different methodologies that we have to use for the RCA root cause analysis. And what are these methods? We will take this one by one. After once we finish this theoretically, we will have video on this. We have very good videos for this, so we will play this. Tools used for RCA. Fishbone diagram are also known as Ishikawa diagram is a tool to help you break down complex problems and categorize all of the different factors that lead to the problem. So now, what's the problem we have? What is our problem? The root cause analysis, the first step is to identify the problems. What's the problems we have? What's the problem we have had in our workplace? So in this case, we will write this on the head of the fish. Late for work. Somebody come late for works. What's the problem? Now people. After this method, then measurement, then machines, and then environment, and then material. So let's we just only talking about this little bit. Children, the people, demotivated, tired, lazy. Then, when we are talking about the machines, copy machine, car, train, alarm, clock. Now, methods, alarm clock, walking time, then route to work, distance to work. These are the methods to be followed. Environment, traffic jam, fog, rain, holidays, inclement weather on holidays. So taxis will be not available on holidays, very few. Measurement, bonus, checking in, incentive, late for school, then materials, food, clothes, petrol, electricity. So uh, we will have six of these things will be involved as part of the accidents. Now, 5 why. This is very good techniques and how we can apply these techniques. We will discuss this tools, different tools, and one technique we will apply. So, one technique, this 5 why we can apply, and another technique we will apply. So now, 5 why analysis is a technique devised to identify root cause by asking why 5 times, 6 times why. Why? Like we have this problem, but why? But why it was not managed? Now let's we start this. What's the problem? The conveyor belt on the main production line has stopped. This is not health and safety incidents. This is operation incidents. This is operation incidents in a production manufacturing organization. Now, why has the conveyor belt stopped? The man fully responsible for rotating the belt is not functioning properly. It stopped because it not functioning properly. Now, why is the main pulley not functioning correctly? Because it's not get enough power from the motor. Why? So now the cause we will keep this under why. Why not getting enough power from the motor? What was the problem? Because the motor has stopped working. Why the motor has stopped working? Because the motor winding had burned out. Why burned out? Why has the winding burned out? Because the motor was loaded beyond its power capacity. Why was the motor overloaded? Instruction about the motor's maximum load weight were missing. So only this one thing, uh, we why we have the problems with the motor conveyor belt? Because the motor was unable to tolerate the load. So when the load was missing, there was only a problem of miscommunication. There was communication gap in the organization. And due to the communication gap in the organization, um, compelled the conveyor belt to stop work because this belt was operated by the motor, and the motor was not not properly managed because the motor was weak and the load provided by the conveyor belt was more than the load capacity of the motor. So over here we have the accidents, and what is our root cause? There was a problem of communication, the power of the motors, because there was communication gap. So now instead of 5y, we use here 6y. So up to 10y also we can extend. Huh? Now for it to chart. For it to chart is telling us like see, low back injuries, cuff injuries, right should sprain, muscle strains, cervical
Massage.
sprain, epidural right wrist sprain, right ankle sprain. Now, once we come here, this Pareto chart is called 80-20 principles. 80 and 20 principles. If we have 20, we can get 80. We will have explain this in later once we finish this. Now this the 80-20 principles. Now FEMA. When we are talking about the FEMA is very important in the ISO 9001 quality excellence in the manufacturing companies and also in the business risk. From the FEMA failure mode and effect analysis, we use this in the Six Sigma also for the incident investigation. And apart from this, we use this technique in the business excellence, particularly in the manufacturing organizations. Prioritizes on earning potential defects based on their severity, expected frequency, and likelihood of detection. Teams of experts, data for analyze, then failure effect causes, asset criticality assessment, risk mitigation action, effectiveness of analysis. Now, over here, a construction worker tripped on a power extension wire, fell, and broke his arm. What's the scenario? They are giving one scenario. And what's this scenario? A construction worker tripped on a power extension wire, fell, and broke his arm. The extension wire was pulled across a main thoroughfare. Now, lack of power socket supply. Why? Lack of portable generator. They don't have portable generator. No lack of power socket supply. The budget request for more portable generator has been slow to approve. Now, most power tools require power supply cables. Lack of newer wireless power tools that can operate on battery. No policy to review and replace old tools with newer better technology. Now, there was no warning sign in front of the wire. Just only if they let down the wire, they have to install over there one signage. No SOP indicate a warning sign needs to be placed in front of extended wire. Health and safety SOP is not adequate. Not means it's not uh, revised as well as it's not communicated. If they revise but not communicated again, then problem. There is no training on how to identify and report hazards. Actually, in this organization, what was the problem? There was no hazard spotting system in place. Health and safety training is not adequate. Now, once we come here, incident cause analysis method. ICAM. What is ICAM? ICAM incident cause analysis method. ICAM is structural investigation techniques used to identify the root causes of incidents, not just the immediate or obvious reasons. It's widely used in high-risk industries like oil and gas, construction, aviation, and alliance with human factor thinking in modern safety system. What is ICAM? ICAM is based on the Jason Swiss cheese
Cheese.
model, which explain how incidents occur due to multiple layers of failure. Instead of blaming individual, ICAM looks at system, process, organizational weakness. When some accident, like see, somebody is using defective ladder. Somebody is using defective ladder. We cannot blame this guy who is using the defective ladder because what's the problem? We didn't provide him training for the not to use defective ladder, or we didn't inform him when you are doing any activity, first of all you have to do inspection. Another thing, why the defective ladder was on site, why it was not removed from the site? The people they blame, no, this guy he doesn't know and he fall down. We cannot blame the people. We have to provide systems, process, and organizational weakness. We have to from the ICAM method, the ICAM protocol, or the ICAM tools of RCA telling us do not blame the people. Better to rectify your system, processes in organizational weakness. Now, ICAM cause categories. ICAM divides causes into four key levels: individual, team actions, active failure. Now, error or violation by workers. Examples: not following procedures, not follow the procedures, incorrect operation of equipment, incorrect operation of equipment, lack of attention. Why we have all these? Because there is no proper teamwork in the organization. Nobody provide him the training how to use the equipment in a proper way. And where you will, like see, some of our people, they are working physically, but their brain is not in the work. So lack of attention. This is called lack of attention. Now see, number second, environmental conditions. Factors that influence performance. Environment is not only the name of heat, cold, no. Environment is the name of infrastructure, the plant, the equipment, and also like the fog, the heat, the smokes, the design, and the light. When we are talking about the environment, the task, environment plays very vital role in incidents. So when we are doing any type of activity in any workplace, we have to see or we have to observe the environment of the workplace. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please go
Examples. Poor lighting. This is called environment. Poor lighting. High workload or fatigue. Now, unsafe tools or equipment. Weather conditions. Organizational factors. Now, company systems and management decisions. Example, inadequate training. Like sometimes we provide training to our employees in English and they do not understand English. So this is a problem. So when we are talking about the training, the people who are involved in process in which language they understand, we have to provide them training in their language. And sometimes we also have problems. We select the trainers, external or internal trainers, but they are not competent. So again, problem. Somebody who doesn't have hand-on experience in a particular activity, and he or she is giving the training and they don't know. Somebody is providing the training for the like crane training, overhead power, overhead crane. And they never ever, the trainer never ever saw the overhead crane. How they will conduct the training and how they will tell them the guys the capacity of crane when it varies with the radius. Yes or no? So
Yes,
not
sir.
only not only the trainers, we have to select the right candidates for the training.
True, sir.
Yes, like sometime we send the students. Like sometime we send the delegates for training, and the training is quite technical. Like see, integrated management system and internal auditor training, and we select the operator like implies, and they don't have idea of this. How they what will be the consequences? The training result will be waste of time and waste of money. So this thing is important. So that's why majority of times the training, the selection people, when there are some, we have some training in our organization, we have to select the proper people for the training. And apart from this, the proper institutes when they provide proper trainings. I'm not just in the telling that our company providing good trainings, but we uh, our trainers, particularly the aspire trainers, they provide good services in terms of training because we are approved from the activate, and apart from this our trainers have hand-on experience on trainings. We have different trainers for different trainings. Sometimes we have technical training, so we do not send for this the common trainer, we send for this technical trainer. Now, so we go ahead. Poor supervision. Sometimes we have everything, but the supervision is poor. So in this case, we will fail. Lack of maintenance system. Maintenance system will be there. Like see, we have the machinery, everything. We have the power tools, but the guard is missing. No, we do not maintain the guard, so no use. Now, weak safety culture. In the organization, they do not consider safety as a value. They do not give this value. Absent failed defenses. Missing are failed control that should have prevented the incidents. Example, no guarding on machinery. Now,
Mm.
failed alarm system. Ineffective procedure. The procedures are not effective. ICAM investigation process. How we will apply or what is the methodology? What is the methodology used by the ICAM process? Immediate response. Make areas safe.
Mm.
Provide medical assistance. Data collection. Interview photos, CCTV cameras. We have to take from this the photos, the videos, documents, PTW, and risk assessment. From these, we will have the data collection. Now, let's see. See that the risk assessment covers this area or this activity. If this activity is high risk, they have implemented the PTW permit to work for this. You have idea of PTW?
Yes, yes, sir. If you
Okay.
but you can shed more light, sir. I
Over
mean
there,
work.
PTW, very good video is on my channel, and this video is properly designed for as per the requirement of the ADOS CUP as well as the Aramco, the Saudi Aramco, KSA Aramco guidelines. Okay, very good
Oh,
video on my channel, so it's better to go for this video. Timeline development, sequence of event before, during, after incidents. Now identify ICAM causes, classify
Process.
into four categories. We classify this in four categories. Root cause analysis, look behind human error. Corrective action, focus on system improvement, not blame, please. See, when we are talking about the incident investigation, we will go for the team improvement, system improvement, not the people. The root cause analysis, in the root cause analysis, our aim is our initiative. Why we investigate the accidents in a good way? Because if we investigate the root cause of accident, it enable us to find out the actions for the incidents. Once we find the actions for the accidents, like uh, what are the causes for the accidents, we will have to rectify, we will take actions. So the action will be system based, not for the individual based. Now I came category and causes. Individual worker didn't isolate power. Now task, like worker received electric shock. Now we apply this for one simple accidents in a workplace, like how worker received electric shock. I came category, now cause. Individual worker didn't isolate power. Now the task, for labeling up switchboard. This is the cause. Organization, no proper lotto training. You know lotto? Log
Yes,
out,
sir.
tag out?
Locked
Yes.
in and locked out,
Good,
sir.
good. Defense is no lockout, takeout system in place. I came versus other methods. Like method, I came focus system plus human. System plus human. Limitation more complex. 5 why simple root cause. Then can miss differ issues. Not more in detail. Now, fishbone, visual brainstorming, less structure. The fishbone is very good technique, but less structure. There is no proper structure. The best one is the ICAM, more complex. If the people understand this, good. Now, key benefits of ICAM: prevent repeat incidents, improve safety culture, focus on system, not blame, align with standards like ISO 45001. So, the PDC. Now, we are taking now another scenario, warehouse electrical incidents. In the warehouse, we have some electrical incidents. Scenario description. At a large logistic warehouse in Abu Dhabi, a contractor electrician was assigned to repair a faulty conveyor motor. The job was considered as a routine activity. The job
Hmm.
was considered as a routine activity.
Okay.
A PTW was issued but not properly reviewed.
Hmm.
The conveyor system was not fully isolated. Not fully isolated. So it means that they have the permit, but they didn't check this properly. During the repair, the electrician received a severe electric shock and fell from a small platform. He sustained burns and a fractured arm. Now, over here, ICAM analysis. Now we now apply the ICAM methodology for this particular accidents. Now let's say we have the report for the individual. What we will see over here, team action, active failures. Electrician didn't verify isolation before starting work. Electrician didn't verify isolation before starting work. Now, supervisors assumed isolation was complete without checking. The supervisor Now see, if the electrician forgot and the supervision uh, felt that it was his duty or her duty to cross check, then it will be corrected. Then again, we go ahead. Worker bypass testing for dead. No voltage test. They didn't confirm the voltage test for this. So over here we have three gaps. The electrician not conduct the isolation and supervisor also not check, and the worker bypassed testing for dead. No voltage test. Bypass test for dead. No voltage test. He didn't check the voltage test. It was required. Now the second, task environmental condition. Poor labeling of electrical panel. Inadequate lighting near the conveyor system. So again, the environment light. Time pressure to restore operations quickly. So workload. No proper access platform. Unstable working position. So this about the environment. 4 lines. Now, organizational factor. What are now we have to check this in the organization. Inadequate logout, tagout training. Weak supervision of contractors. Weak supervision of contractor. Actually, this work was done by the contractor employee. PTW system not strictly implemented. Just only this was for the formalities. No refresher training on electrical safety. So the guy who was there not provided refresher training. Production prioritized over safety. So they compromise the production on the safety. Absent failed defenses. No effective loader system in place, no voltage tester provided or enforced. PTW checklist not verified. No audits or monitoring of high risk work. Risk assessment was generic, not task specific. They have had the risk assessment, but it's generic, not specific for the motor repair. Root cause summary. The accident was not just worker error. Root cause includes poor safety system, lack of training and enforcement, failed control measures, correct action, ICAM based immediate action, stop similar work activities, review all ongoing electrical jobs, provide medical support and incident reporting. Now, system improvement. How we will improve our system? Implement strict LOTO procedure. Improve PTW system with mandatory verification. Conduct competency-based electrical safety training. Introduce supervision and audits. Long-term actions. Strengthen safety culture. Ensure management accountability. Regular inspection and compliance checks. Key learning point, the worker made a mistake, but the system allowed it to happen. But the system allowed it to happen. Actually, when we are talking about the system, when the system is okay, then individual we can manage. Now, this is the ICAM analysis, incident cause analysis method, individual, team, action, active failure. Now, human error, rule violation, take environmental condition, poor work space, high workload, then organization factor, training issue, weak management, now absent failed defense, now missing control, failed safeguards. So that's all give rise to incident happen. Now, what are the common mistakes that we are doing in the root cause analysis. Jumping to conclusion. One of the most common mistake is jumping to conclusion without thoroughly examining the available information. This often leads to implementing quick fixes and do not address the root cause of the problem. Tip: ensure that you take the time to gather all relevant information and systematically work through the RCA process to identify the underlying cause. Second, focus only on individual errors. Another mistake is slowly blaming individual for incidents without considering the broader organizational context. This can lead to culture of the blame and unwillingness to report incidents in future. Tip: while this is essential to consider individual factors, also examine organizational root causes and environmental factors that may have contributed to the incident. This will help to create a more comprehensive understanding of the issue and leads to more effective solutions. Neglecting to involve work, the right people. One common mistake organizations make it is neglecting to involve the right people in the RCA process. A successful RCA requires input from various stakeholders, including employees directly involved in incidents, supervisors, and management. Collaborative analysis helps in collecting a variety of viewpoints and promotes a sense of collective accountability for workplace safety. Tip number Tip now: involving all present stakeholders in the RCA process is crucial as it aids in collecting a variety of viewpoints and promote a sense of collective accountability for workplace safety. Now, inadequate documentation. Poor documentation of RCA process and its outcomes can lead to a lack of accountability and hinder the implementation of corrective action. Do document every step of the RCA process, including the incident description, investigation, root cause identification, and proposed corrective action. This will help ensure that all stakeholders are aware of their responsibilities and can track the progress of implemented solution. Now, failing to follow up on corrective action. Implementing corrective action is only one part of the RCA process. Organizational sometimes fail to follow up on these action, which can lead to a recurrence of incidents or issues. Tip 3. Establish a system to monitor the process of corrective action in evaluating their effectiveness. Regularly review the implemented solution and make any necessary adjustment to ensure that the root cause is fully addressed and the risk of recurrence is minimized. Now, incidents are a common part of any health and safety program. Implementing RCA as part of an organization occupational safety and health program enable you to identify how a hazard originate, fortify gaps found beneath the surface, and prevent future incidents. Here is a list of common RCA scenarios that is prevalent: injuries and illness, near misses, workplace violence, quality control problems. If we have any one of them, we have to conduct the RCA. Thank you very much. If you have anything, please write in the comment section and we will reply to your comments. Thanks a lot. We'll see you with the next video.